I've had people back home because of programs like yours and others, and said to me, if you don't vote for this bill, then it's the end of your political career. And I just want you to know, and I want everybody else to know, that you do not intimidate George Voinovich. This is my 40th year in this business.
Senator, with all due respect,
I'm
not trying to intimidate you. I'm just trying to get you. Are you saying that I'm intimidating you?
No. I'm just saying, though, that a lot of the radio programs have really got out there and fired this thing up, and so people are really hot about it. And I'm getting calls from people that basically are intimidating me. Say, if you do this, then I'm going to do that.
So if they voice their opinions and they say to you that this is a defining bill for them in terms of the type of representation they want, you view that as a threat?
What I'm trying to say to you is, and during my 40 years in this business, I voted on a lot of pieces of legislation. What I do is I weigh them, I look at the pros, and I look at the cons, and then I make a decision. And if that decision is something that a lot of people are unhappy about, then they'll have to take that into consideration the next time I'm up for election.
Fair enough. To me, this is a defining issue because I think this is one of the most important issues of our time. In terms of how, people, if they tell you it's a defining issue, I think they're just expressing to you they're passionate about the issue.
Are you happy with the current? Are you happy with the current legislation that we have today? Are you
Senator,
happy with? Wait a second. Are you happy with the fact that we let in 50,000 people every year from unrepresented countries?
Senator, let me answer your question.
Let me finish.
You
happy with the chain immigration that we have here that lets in mothers, sisters, brothers, cousins, and aunts? This legislation cuts it back and says if you get in here, you get a green card. You can bring your wife and you can bring your minority kids. You can't bring in the rest of your family anymore. We've gone to the European style of setting up points. You can't get in here unless these points allow you're one of the categories that we need in this country. Our current law is stinks. It's a terrible law.
Nobody's enforcing it, Senator. Nobody's built the fence. You guys, allocated money for 700 miles of fence. We built 2 miles of it. To answer your question, it's 5.5 years, Senator, nearly 6 years since 9/11, and our borders still are not secure. You can't even tell me you've read this bill because as of yesterday, the bill wasn't even completed and written. You haven't read the bill.
No. Here's the statistics, okay?
Have you read the bill? Have you read this bill?
I have read most of the summaries on it. No, I haven't read every page.
Nobody's read it because it wasn't written as of yesterday.
Well, the fact of the matter is that in terms of the border today is one heck of a lot more secure than it was 3 years ago.
Hey, Senator, with all due respect, Senator, anybody can walk across these borders anytime they want. I've been down on the border 5 times. These borders aren't anywhere near secure, Senator. It's 5.5 years after 9/11, nearly 6. And I'm going to tell you, let me give you why people that you say are fired up about this, but let me tell you why I'm fired up about it. There have been no committing hearings on the bill, Senator. There aren't going to be hearings. There's been no cost analysis about this bill, Senator. None whatsoever when you look at it. When you look at the specifics in this bill, it allows 400,000 guest workers to come into the country every year. They're going to become eligible for permanent status. Between 12 and 20 million people will immediately be on a path to citizenship. The penalty, in my mind, is meager for their lack of respect of our laws and our sovereignty. We're rewarding illegal behavior. It could cost, according to the Heritage Foundation, $2.5 trillion for the taxpayers of this country. And in the end, the security measures have been reduced from where they were last year, as I see it, with border fence, etc. And no consideration has been given to any of these things. That's why I'm mad.
Okay, you really didn't give me a chance. I don't really think it's worthy to talk to you right now because you got your mind up, but you're not really interested in hearing the other side of the coin. All you want to hear is somebody agree with you, and I'm disappointed in you because I had more respect for you. I wouldn't have gone on this radio program with you if I hadn't thought that you'd give me an opportunity.
Senator, you have had a fair opportunity, and you're mad that it seems to me you say people are intimidating you because they dare to disagree with you.
You haven't even given me a chance. Sean, it's been nice talking to you.
So you're going to hang up because you don't have the courage to debate it, just like the Senate.
Give me a chance to even.
I'll give you all the time you want. I'll leave you for the whole hour, Senator. You want the whole hour? Let's go through it point by point. Have you guys in the Senate done a cost analysis on this, sir?
On this legislation, then
I didn't ask you that. I asked if you've done a cost analysis.
We have done a cost analysis.
How much is it going to cost the Social Security and Medicare systems? Heritage says $2.5 trillion. How much do you say?
I'm not talking. I'm talking about the amount of money that we're going to spend to secure the border.
That wasn't my question. I asked you if you did a cost analysis. If you legalize 12 to 20 million people, how much over the next 15, 20 years is it going to cost the taxpayers for our Medicare and Social Security system?
Well, the fact of the matter is the bill provides that the people that are here that paid their Social Security are not going to get their Social Security. If they stay here and they get a job, then they would be eligible to receive their Social Security. As a matter of fact, Social Security has really been ahead over the years because a lot of these people have given phony Social Security cards. They're never going to be able to collect the money out of Social Security.
But have you read the Heritage Foundation study? Because
no, I haven't. No, I'm sorry, I haven't.
It's worth reading because what they have done here is they figured out after legalization, after you grant immediate path to citizenship, and once people become eligible, whatever the year is, 10, 12, 13 years later, and the average education levels and estimated incomes of people, what they have determined is that over time, it's going to cost the taxpayers of this country, drain the system, Social Security and Medicare. We're talking about illegal immigrants, $2.5 trillion. Don't you think before the Senate votes on a bill... Hang on, let me finish my question. Let me finish my question.
Hold it just a second, okay?
You're interrupting me. Go ahead.
Okay, well, if you count the number of minutes you've had and I've had, I think you've had more minutes than I have. The fact of the matter is that I believe that if this legislation passed, that about a third to 40% of the people that are illegals would go into the 10-month program where they come they work here 10 months and go home. A lot of these folks, they don't want to become United States citizens. Now, let's say that...
Wait, where do you get that from, that they don't want to? Of course they do. But you still haven't answered, Senator. Wait. Now, let me finish my point, because I've asked you a simple question. Senator, you won't answer my question.
You're using 10 to 20,000 people. I'm saying to you, if there's 12 million people and a third of them go home, then they're not a problem at all for our Social Security system. They're not a problem for our Medicare system.
That is an assumption that you've made, never having read the Heritage Foundation report. But my original question to you was the following. I asked whether or not, because I think Congress is rushing this bill through. It's yet to even been fully written. It hasn't been read by any senator in full. You're only getting, quote, date, Senator, did any cost analysis of what ultimately this can cost the American taxpayer and what it would do to systems like Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. Now, I have read this Heritage Foundation report, and my point to you is, don't you think it would be wise, before you pass this amnesty bill, to find out what it's going to cost the American taxpayer and just sort of guessing here on this program the way you are?
Yeah, I don't agree with some of the... LaShawn, I want to tell you something. I really appreciate the opportunity.
You're running away because you can't answer a simple question.
Yes, I am.
You're running away because you can't answer a question.
I was supposed to be on here for 5 minutes. Thank you very much. And I hope the next time around we have another subject that we can be more rational about. Thank you.
So I'm irrational because I disagree with you? The almighty Senator. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my point here. First of all, we were respectful to the Senator. I'm trying to get his point of view. The hostility came from him. And all I did was ask a simple question. Hey, Senator, did you read the bill? And the answer is no. He doesn't want to admit it, but he hasn't. Hey, Senator, let me ask you the next question. Simple question. Have you guys, before you passed this bill, has there been any cost analysis as to what ultimately this bill can cost the American taxpayer? No. Well, I would figure that the third will go home. He's pulling these numbers out of his head. The answer is no. The Heritage Foundation has done a cost analysis. And this is where I get into the very beginning. The bill hasn't even fully been completely written and read by these senators. They even pass an amendment here. Even the amendment to send immigrants home is defeated. If you dare to disagree with them, the ad hominem attacks begin, that we're irrational, we're out of touch. No, we've done our research. I actually read the original bill. I've read the Heritage Foundation report. We've looked at the cost analysis. We see the legal status, and we understand, and we just disagree with them, and they can't stand any opposition. Well, I'm not coming on your program if you disagree with me. Well, I guess you can count him in the amnesty camp at the end of the day. Let's see what happens. Quick break, right back.